In this video, you can cut wood taller than this. You get the idea. Strokes, that pillar drill's in the way. They're going to cause some damage. I was going to bring another video out on the Parkside tools I got from Lidl. However, today is the 4th of May, Sunday. Went to Aldi and there's some bargains to be had in the middle aisle. So I thought I'd bring this video out. Ideal for doing DIY woodwork on a budget and some other tools. But before I do, let's have a quick look around Aldi of all the things I didn't buy and I haven't shown in other videos. Hello, sheddies, and you join me again in my shed. So £25 for this cordless drill without the battery, the Ferex one, and the grinder as well. I've got one of them and really vouch for them. Reduced to 30 quid for this pruning saw, again without the batteries, but if you've got one, all good. 15 quid for the batteries. I'm pretty sure these are the 2 amp hour ones, 20 volt. £8 for this Ronseal one coat paint, dark oak, and I think the different colours in there as well. The £6 for the small decking, that's gone down in price. £8 for this picnic cooler pack, and I think that backpack is as well. £2 for these anti-slip mats, quite handy in a workshop or shed or just for shelving in general, really. Hanging baskets, £4.50 each. And then £8 for this weather protection wood care gel. Not tried that before, be interesting to see how good that is. Masonry paint, tenner, reduced to £12 for this Crown Pure Brilliant White matte paint. Now I went to Halfords as well. Look at these, look, £10 for these floor mats. Again, ideal for a workshop or a garage. 1800 by 1200 mil per pack. And if you remember, Parkside brought out their socket set around the same size as this. It was 60 quid. Well, that was 220 reduced too. Now I know it's got a lifetime guarantee, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see comparison between the two. £29 for these shelving units. Now, I know that Parkside do 2 for 60 quid, so on a par price-wise, but it looks quite robust, these do, and you can do in 2 different designs. Anyway, back to the shed. Right, a work zone MITRE SAW with MITRE box. Now, I know for a lot of you this is day one woodworking, but I think these are a forgotten gem, and they come in handy. Those jobs you're doing away from home, around at someone's house or whatever, or if you can't be bothered to get your MITRE SAW out, your compound MITRE SAW, your mains one. It's a tenon saw as well. Rubber on the handle. Good amount of rubber there. Good grip. Your hand cups it really well. Your finger against for guidance. And for when you drop it. Saw is 12-inch, 355 millimeters overall. Robust and durable with 10 teeth per inch. Hardened saw teeth. Teeth sharpened on both sides. Rapid saw progress. Now, it is one of the most basic plastic MITRE boxes, but there is some much better ones out there. But this was only 6 quid, £5.99. And for anyone that's starting out in woodworking, I think that's a day one tool you should buy. And some people, of course, don't want to use a powered saw. They're not confident with it. So you've got a lot more control over one of these. Of course, not just wood, but PVC, metal, dowel, coving, acrylic. Obviously, with metal, we'd have to use a different saw. Anyway, let's open it up. And I'll show you a trick at the end. You might have seen it before. How you can cut wood that's taller than this. There we are. There's the range of saws. I bought that one as well. I'll show you that in the video. Product code if you want it, 845560. Service Centre, Forest Park and Garden in Pontypridd. Here we are, look. Shapak. Warranty 3 years. Packaging off. Guard off. See, it's a push blade. We could use a wax or a light oil on here to stop it from pinching when you're cutting. Hole at the top to hang it if you want to. Yeah, you can see all the oil already on it, look. Which is good. We've got the cap on top. Now, I know some of these, they're actually deeper. So that stops it from going all the way through and start cutting through your plastic. But you can see it's already got grooves in there. And the end piece here for doing bevel cuts, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 45 degrees, 22.5, 90 degrees, or dead straight, 22.5, 45 and 60 in the other direction. And we've got these holes here as well, so we can actually screw it down to the deck if we wanted to. Or we could just clamp it down with speed clamps. Quite impressed with this for the money. Strong enough plastic. There's a bit of twist in there, nothing to write home about. I've seen some of them, the dearer ones. I've got all the recessed holes in there, so you can put them cam pins in there, a pin in there, turn it, and it's like a cam. So it like locks in place and pinches it against this outer wall. But we can just put clamps that way. Held in with screw bolts. And on the other side, captive nuts. And of course, like I mentioned, we can use this for coving, for door frames, the trim that goes round when you're doing laminate floors, tile trim, picture frames as well. I was doing a lot of trim around my shower tray when I made it, this plastic stuff. To be honest, I used my mains MITRE SAW, compound MITRE SAW. Real overkill for something like that. The good thing about this, you've got real good control. Even small dowel, you can sort of push your hand right into the corner there and get some small dowel in there and cut straight through at your own pace. Dado rails, picture rails, or anything you want to make an angled cut. I just think they're a real good all-rounder, especially for a beginner DIYer or woodworker. Just doing skirting boards, you're not doing that many cuts in a normal room. You really want to be handballing the big saw down there, plus your extractor, your vacuum. Clamp this down to a workmate and you're away, mate. Quick measurements. 50mm deep, just under 100mm wide, and total length 31 centimetres. But notice at the bottom here, it's got a lip down one side, so we can put it against the worktop. Adds to the rigidity and keeps it uniform in place. Right, enough waffle. Let's give it a go with some various materials. I'll also show how to cut wood that's deeper than 50mm up to about whatever size you want. Right, let's get on with it. Like I say, some of these MITRE boxes, they're the same height as a tenon saw, so it gets to the lip and then doesn't go any further than it stops you from cutting into the plastic. Or we could put a piece of sacrificial wood at the bottom. Because we're cutting against something, there shouldn't be any tear out. So I could either screw that straight into there, or let's get some clamps. So the lip on there means it's going to go buff straight up against it. Well, the only thing we're using these big clamps, of course, leaves us less room. Let's just start off with a nice strip of wood, scrap piece, which is just below the height, probably about 45mm. And when we mark the piece of wood, we need to know which side we're keeping. Cut to the scrap side of the line, the kerf of the blade. Start off with a straight cut. I'm just holding this in place at the minute. Because it's a push blade, we'll give it a few strikes first. And start cutting. Cutting on the push. Watch your fingers. Nice and easy. It's a nice cut. Right, 45 degrees. There we are. We can check. There we go. 90 degrees. Nice. And obviously other angles as well. Do a bevel cut. Now the only thing is my clamp in the way? Nope. It's all good. What was that? Some animal. Probably a cat. Outside the shed. So you can see there, bevel cut. Right, let's get something else. I know what I've got. Waste pipe. What's this about? Well, it's 32mm. Now, I've got a long piece of it. I don't know what to put it over there. Let's do a straight cut on this. As can you imagine, straight through. Boop, boop. What's next? Bigger piece of wood here, some CLS, what's that, 37 by 63. Use these smaller clamps from Work Zone. Fix it down instead. Like I mentioned on the Deere or other brands MITRE boxes, they've got the holes in there so you can put these pegs in there like on a cam top. Lock them in place, a bit like an MFT table if you like, but with cams. If you want to clamp it in place rather than holding it by hand. Couple of clamps on there. Just to hold it in place. Little holes we've got either side. We could put like a bolt on there that's fixed in place. Holes in a workbench or a workmate, and then just slot them in. If you really wanted to, put some wing nuts underneath and then take it off when you don't need it, or just screw it straight in into the same holes. Let's do a 22.5 degree cut. Taking off a bit of plastic. And like I say, we could put a bit of sacrificial wood at the bottom and some at this back piece if we want to. There we go, 22.5. What does that give us? A 45 degree, doesn't it? Yeah, 45 degree angle. No tear out on the bottom, just a little bit frayed. So that's that. As you can see, I've got a bit of aluminium here. I was going to cut that with the other saw I've got. So let's go on to that now and we'll come back to this. Next, we also got a 3-in-1 hacksaw. 300mm, again from Work Zone. The 3 different blades there. That's going to be good for cutting branches, isn't it? Or rough cuts. Robust and durable with hardened saw teeth. Adjustable saw blade angle, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 135 degrees, 180 degrees. 1 saw blade for wood, 1 saw blade for metal, 18 teeth per inch and 24 teeth per inch. You must be 18 to buy this product. Rubber on the handle again, good amount. And rubber at this end. See the little gauge on there for adjusting the blade. 45, 90 and 45 degrees. Structural warranty card. Pretty much the same as the other. Is that the same code? 845560. That looks like aluminium there. Rubber at the other end as well. If you need to use 2 hands. Plastic everywhere else. Knob on here for the adjustment of the angle. Again, this was $5.99. There's the extra blades and the blade guards. 18 teeth per inch and 24 teeth per inch. Fine and rougher cuts. And then we've got the really rough cut. 4 teeth per inch. Will be good for pruning. And of course, this will be good with the other blade, cutting the metal with that mitre box. Look at the teeth. They're going to cause some damage. For just undo that. Take that off. Ah, yeah. No, probably not then. I thought because that's sprung loaded there, you'd be able to pull it, and that cog there would rotate inside there and be able to adjust the angle. But no, we've got to take it out and put it back in again. Which seems odd to me. But anyway, put that back on. Can you see, you have to take it right off as well. Just almost off and you can do it. But yeah, bring it all the way out till that comes out. And then you can rotate it. That end just rotates freely. So yeah, I know I should be leaving the guard on top of this while I'm doing this, but I didn't. I'll tighten that one all the way in. Let's pull it in tight. There we go. And we can cut like that. Right, let's give that one a try as well. What I'll do first, before I use the metal blade to cut something in here, let's give this blade a try. Stick this bit of wood in the vise. I need to clear all this out. Look at this mess here. Ah, there's my other curved pruning saw. I was using that the other day. Once it gets going, I'm not doing a full stroke because that pillar drill's in the way. Out of the way. Beast! Switch the blade over. I've got some really good metal blades actually somewhere, but this will do. Let's cut a bit of this aluminium. 45 degrees. Obviously watch your thumbs and fingers when doing this. You can easily jump. My thumb's a bit close really. There we go. Needs deburring a little bit, but you get the idea. Of course I could have done that against there and done a bevel cut, but I didn't. And I mentioned about cutting deeper wood or anything for that matter. Now this one's probably about 10mm higher, but you could be like 20mm higher or 30mm higher. But you can't start it because it's higher than the guide. So a way of doing it for this one, for example, take it that side and then cutting it that way. When you get to the bottom, so it won't go any further, bring it into there then and then carry on the cut until it gets down to the bottom. Now another way of doing it is you could bring this up a little bit. So you could chock it out, put a piece of wood underneath here, depending on how thick the wood is. So chock this up, say 50mm. Potentially it'll give you like a 100mm cut overall. Could go to any height really, but what you'd have to do is bring it down a stage each time. Like say it was 150mm high, then just take a block away, block away, block away until you've got enough left just to finish off in the inside of this wall. Yes, a bit of a faff, but if you've got nothing else, it'll have to do. Anyway, you might have known that already, but I thought I'd tell you. So a nice little addition to any workshop or DIYer, a forgotten gem. Well, it is for me anyway. There's times when I need one of these. I did have one years ago, just lost it. As we do, £6. Next, now this from Aldi again, but this one's called Garden Line, which is reduced from £3.99 to £1.99. So I thought it'd be rude not to. A nice little foldable pruning saw. Look at the blade on that. Looks nice, doesn't it? That's going to dig away at some branches. Again by Shapak, Germany. Nice light green rubber on the handle. It's the first time I've had green rubber. And a little trigger at the top there. Depress, and you can bring it in. Mind your fingers. Press, locks in place. Plastic on the body. Now it's got little locking positions. So you can lock it there. Is that for pulling down? So if you're cutting at a weird angle, is it? Because that's locked in there. I can cut like that. You ain't got enough room behind you. And then the next one, press that in, is there. Is it? There we are. So yeah, another angle, more of a cranked handle. That gives you more force. It will give you more force. And the last one is fully extended. There we are. Yeah, I prefer that one. I like that setting. There. Give that some good use. I've got one actually, but not a foldable one. A lanyard on there or something. Or just hang it on an L. Let's do it on the cranked position. I like that position. Like butter. £2. Can't go wrong. Next, as you know, I like storage boxes and storage devices. Had to get these plastic boxes or sandwich boxes with lids. £1.99. They're all the side of the tin, really, aren't they? Lids. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 50p each. They're better than what you'd get from the takeaway. I can say that, but they're not the strongest. They are flexible, which is a good thing. Sometimes I drop them on the floor or lean on them or put something on them or tread on them. Yeah, look, there's loads of give in those. So yeah, good for putting screws in, nails in, whatever. 1,000,001 things. Lid. Nice seal on it. That's a really good seal, actually. The good thing about it as well, it's got 2 corners to peel it back with. There we are. If you're interested, for dishwasher, okay for the freezer, okay for the microwave. Oh, I'm going to get all 4. What's that one? What is that? Is that the dishwasher? That just must mean then for, eating out of. So you can put food in it. Next. That's it. The rest of the stuff's the Parkside stuff in the next video. Forgot to mention as well, coving. I haven't got any at the minute. Put that at an angle so the surface there, 45 degrees, and then cut at 45 degrees. And when you put it in place, it works right. But just get it the right way around. I've done that before. You think it's that cut that way, but it's actually that cut that way. If you've done coving, you know what I mean. Let's have a look at little Parkside stuff from the 8th of May. Look at those bangers. Look what we've got here then. A 12-volt cordless drill set. You get the battery and charger, and you get that bit set as well. £40. Drill bit set £2.99. Specialised bit set. Looks like it's got an angled piece on there as well, an attachment. Look at that, look. Folding hand tool. It's got Torx bits and Allen keys, screwdrivers and socket set. That's good for when you're on the move. Bit set and socket set, £10. 12-volt cordless multi-sander. Starter set, £30. With battery and charger. I like the look of this, look. Japanese pull saw. I've already got a couple of them, but not with a cranked handle like that. I keep calling it cranked handle. What's the proper term for that? Assorted hand tools. I've got a few of them. In fact, I've got all of them. 2 for a £5. 12-volt cordless polisher sander. The Lidl Plus app, £25. D-shackles, we've seen them before. 3-in-1 combination ladder. Save £20. The screw fix, £90. Lidl, £70. Step ladders, a single ladder or stair ladder. Tap and die set, we've had them in before. Workwear, t-shirts. A Henry Pet. At Asda, £169. Lidl, £129. Let me know if you're buying anything and if you've bought anything from Aldi or Lidl. There's my cross-cut compound MITRE SAW from Parkside. which is great, but sometimes you just want something a little bit more portable. Let us all know if you still use your MITRE box saw and how handy it is in certain applications. It helps us all. As I said in the last video, I'm going down to Maker Central in May, but only on the Saturday, which is the 17th of May. If you see me walking around, come over and say hello. As I always say, I'm not an expert. These are just things I get up to in my shed at the weekend. And my obsession with buying too many cheap tools. I'll put a link on the screen now to all my other tool reviews. Comment below anything you like. Give me a thumbs up, really helps the channel. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care, and remember, keep calm and head to the shed. Cheers! See you next time on Weekend Shedhead.